Hey, what's up? Jason here from Unity3D.College. Yesterday I got a really great email just asking about the differences between AR and VR and kind of what you need to do to get started, get set up, and actually do development for the platforms. And I really love the question, so I just kind of wanted to share that and then share some of the answers that I had. So if you don't really know the difference between augmented reality and virtual reality, I'd say the biggest difference is that VR kind of replaces your entire world, where augmented reality is meant to add things to the existing world. I mean, I've got my Vive right here. Can you imagine, if you haven't used one of these yet, you're missing out first off. If you haven't used one, when you put your head in, like your eyes are in there, the entire world is replaced. Like I can just see this amazing white room. It's nothing's loaded in there yet. But it totally replaces the world and gives you a new feel, like you're somewhere else. You're not in the real world. Real world rules don't apply. You could be flying, you could be 1,000 feet tall, you could be the size of an ant. It's very easy to do all kinds of crazy cool effects that you couldn't do in the real world, and you can't do in augmented reality. Augmented reality, on the other hand, I'm not even going to show it, but essentially on a phone, you look through the phone and you see extra things in the world. It's pretty cool. It was really cool when it first came out. Nowadays, I'm slightly less impressed. It's essentially showing a game object on your screen placed in the world somewhere. Usually, the newer stuff at least like snaps to surfaces really well and walks around and stuff, but you still end up looking through a little phone screen most of the time. Now, there are a couple of solutions coming out. There's the HoloLens, which is, they call it a mixed reality device, and it's kind of in between because you wear it on your head, but it does augmented reality, so it's a little bit better. The things are 3D instead of just 2D on a screen. I shouldn't say it's a little bit. It's a lot better, but it's still not at a consumer level yet. It's still more of an industrial device. I have no doubt that within the next 5 years or so, we'll all have sunglasses. Apple will be selling them too, and you'll be able to just put on glasses that augment and switch to virtual mode. No, if not 5 years, definitely within 10, but I'm hopeful. So then on to the question of just what you need to develop for these platforms. So for augmented reality, since you're building onto a phone, you're going onto your Android device or your Apple phone, you really just need something that's kind of min spec, has 8 gigs of RAM and a reasonable video card. Like, it doesn't have to be great. You're not going to be pushing the envelope and doing crazy things in augmented reality. So a mid-range or even some low-end laptop would probably be fine too. Of course, a better system helps. It's easier to develop on a fast system. I wouldn't personally want to develop on a really low-end one, but you definitely can. And don't let hardware requirements get in the way. If you want to build something for augmented reality, just start building it. You can probably do it with whatever you have. Virtual reality, on the other hand, is 100% different. You need a super high-end system, especially for desktop VR, because it's all running on your video card, on your computer, and you're going to be running and playing and editing in the editor, debugging things. You want to have a super high-end system. I'd recommend 16 gigs of RAM at least. You could get away with 8, but I'd go with 16 or 32. And then the main thing, though, is the video card. So here, if you look here, I've got the video card benchmarks, or videocardbenchmark.net. It's a great site for just getting an idea of how good video cards are compared to each other. And here, let me actually go back and show you. So just go to the high-end video card chart. And right here you can see all of the top cards. It also has their prices, and I think these are like Amazon affiliate links or something. But it's got a score here that shows how fast these cards are. And the very minimum I would recommend is something around a GTX 970. So somewhere, any one of the cards in this level, not the Quadro ones. So the Quadro ones are specific for other things. They're not really for gaming. So the 390X... maybe this R, no, that's double card. So yeah, a 390X or a 970 are like the bare minimum. Ideally, I would say if you can afford the price difference, which I'm not sure what the difference is right now. It's been changing a lot because of Bitcoin raising these prices up. This card used to be like 300 and something bucks. I think I bought mine for 320. But yeah, back on subject. The 1070 is kind of where I would recommend going in, and I'm sure you could find it for less than $429. Like I said, I think I got mine for 320-ish. But yeah, something around this is good, and you'll notice a big difference. So, like when I was building a couple games for the Vive on the 970, the games ran fine if you built them out and played them on the 970, but as soon as you're in the editor, you'd start dipping below that required 90 frames a second. So game works fine in like a release final version, but actually building it was painful with the 970. We're building it on the 1070. I hope that kind of clears up the difference between AR and VR and gives an idea of what you need to build these things. And if you have questions for me, of course, just send me an email or join the group. There's a link in the description below. And hope to see you there.